Standing on your two knees, baby, tell me what do you need? Stand up on your 2 feet, baby, that's how it's got to be. Standing on your 2 knees, baby, tell me what do you need?
Welcome back to the Muslim Street. That is, today we brought you the soulful music of Hindi Zahra. Hindi Zahra is a Franco-Moroccan singer, jazz artist, and soul artist. So definitely look into her. She has a very soulful, beautiful voice. Thank you for listening to the Muslim Street. Today is January 1st, 2012. Happy New Year. And we're broadcasting live from WTAN 1340. I'm Laila Abdelaziz here with my co-host Malik Aziz. Today, we've touched up on a lot of subjects. Yeah. We've touched up on a lot of subjects that were of great importance to the Muslim American community in 2011, that kind of brought the community together, that empowered the community through engagement. You know, and as unfortunate as many of these things are, we're seeing the community come together. And Malik was just saying that the weakness of our community could potentially come from an ununited community, but I don't see that. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I see that.
Yeah.
So I'm that makes me happy and hopeful.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the tide is turning, and some good things are going to come out of this.
Definitely. And as 2012 comes up, we wanted to kind of discuss our very last topic that we chose, which is the Muslim American civic identity within the United States. The caller earlier today on the show brought up a very interesting topic about the seemingly and generally conservative nature of Muslim American community, which is true. He was very, very true. And I think that although many Muslim American households changed their voter registration to Democrat, they still hold these conservative values of, well, you know, family values. I don't know if this is, I don't really like saying that that's a conservative value, because it kind of implies that liberals don't believe in family values and don't believe in having, you know, a foundation of morals and values and et cetera. So I don't know if I would say that only Republicans have these values, but the Muslim community is very conservative in terms of abortion, in terms of the legalization of drugs, in terms of gay rights. These subjects are, the Muslim community is generally very conservative. But I don't know what will come up in 2012. Will we see the Muslim American community come out as Democrat like they did in 2008 for Barack Obama, or will we see more of a divided voter registration here?
Yeah, I think we will. The Muslim community is, I think, a little taken aback by some of the practices and policies of the Obama administration, both internationally and domestically. And I think too that the tide is still set. What will be written about how the Muslims will react to this next election in November 2012. I still think that the history is yet to be written on that. Decisions haven't been made yet, so there's too much going on right
it's still
now.
Early.
Yeah,
it's still early.
Way too early.
There's definitely a very interesting demographic within the Muslim American community that I've noticed that has gone libertarian for Ron Paul. And just as the Muslim American identity shifted from a majority Republican registration to a majority Democratic registration in hopes of a change in foreign policy, I think we will see a large majority of the Muslim American community turning out for Ron Paul this year, basically because he's very anti-foreign policy in general, which in my fair opinion, I don't know how much I would agree with that, but that is happening in the Muslim American community. They are relating to Ron Paul and his policies and his campaign.
Yeah, and again, the total disappointment of the Obama administration of the ramped up wars. He simply took the baton from George Bush, and continued his move through Muslim lands has upset the Muslims. And so when you see Ron Paul come with an alternative to this, which simply says hands off, he's simply saying no to militarism, period, because government should not be involved in setting up military bases all over the world. And that includes the support of Israel. This strikes an accord with Muslims, and this is why we see Muslims moving in that direction.
Definitely. So it's that is the main topic that we're going to be looking at very, very intensively in 2012, especially the Republican National Convention will be right here in Tampa, Florida, right here in our backyards. The Muslim Street will be live from the Republican National Convention, as well as the Democratic National Convention in it's in the Carolinas. I always forget which one. I don't know.
Charlotte. Yeah.
It's in Charlotte. Okay. So we'll definitely be reporting live from the Democratic National Convention, which will not be as juicy because clearly Obama will be the nomination there. But the Republican National Convention will be right here in Tampa, Florida. We'll be bringing you live coverage from that in 2012. And even before that, we'll be keeping you updated on the many, many civic organizations that have emerged from the Muslim American community in the early 2000s that will be doing great voter engagement campaigns.
Yeah. So I think speaking of Obama and the nomination that he would get, which is clear, I don't think we had in this country since 1968, where there was an incumbent president, that being Lyndon Johnson, who announced that he wasn't going to run for president, that there was a changing of the guard, so to speak, with the Democrats who had the White House at that time. And, of course, they moved on to lose to Richard Nixon, who was one of the most historically reactionary presidents that this country has ever seen.
Yeah, definitely. Speaking of nominations, we're very happy to announce, the Muslim Street has been around for 2 months now. The talk show, talk show. We've been going strong for 2 months now. So we want to thank all of our supporters that have been supporting us, listening to us, that have been sharing the talk show with their friends, that have been getting the word out there. We want to thank all the guests that we've had on the show. We want to thank the community for their overwhelming support. And we really, like we've said, we created the Muslim Street to kind of present a channel for Muslim America, for the things going on in Muslim America, for the organizations that are going strong, the people that are going strong, to humanize the Muslim American community in light of Islamophobia, especially here in Florida. So as 2011 wrapped up, Malik and I and the Muslim Street definitely looked into many organizations and many of the Muslim American leaders within the community to wrap up and kind of bring to light one organization and one community leader. And it wasn't an easy decision to make at all. I mean, there's just so much motivating people out there. There's so much going on. There's so much inspiration within our community. And we did, at the end of the day, come up with one organization and one person of the year. The organization that we decided would get the Muslim Street Organization of the Year is Muslims Without Borders. Muslims Without Borders is a student-based relief agency, which I think is phenomenal. It's something that I saw myself grow within universities, I have friends all over the country in many different universities. Muslims Without Borders grew from state to state by student initiative to help the least fortunate here at home in terms of food drives and abroad. I know that there's a Muslims Without Borders trip going on in Mexico right now. They're working, it's youth providing their time, youth volunteering to help the least fortunate. And that's one of the 5 pillars of Islam, charity and giving yourself to the less, the people that have less than you. So
we carried the link. We launched the online version of the Muslim Street in August, and we carried the Muslims Without Borders link on our website up until pretty much 2 weeks ago.
So definitely I want to applaud all of you that have worked with Muslims Without Borders, that have been a part of Muslims Without Borders, that have supported and volunteered. I would definitely suggest that you check out their website if you have not heard of them. It's mww.mwbrelief.org. So that's Muslims Without Borders Relief.org, mwbrelief.org. It's a great dynamic group of youth from all around the nation doing great things for the least fortunate.
Absolutely. I think we moved to the Muslim Street Person of the Year, the selection. And I just want to read very quickly some snippets from our website, muslimstreet.net, on this subject matter. We pondered heavily on what is the inaugural selection of the Muslim Street's Person of the Year. Oppression is an interesting phenomenon. It has lifelike qualities that seemingly connects the oppressed to its oppressor. And we use the historical reference of slavery in this country and Harriet Tubman as being uncompromising. And we also talk about, as a backdrop to our selection, great leaders are visionaries who think and act beyond themselves. The example of Gamal Nasser. Linda Sarsour, the executive director of Arab American Association in New York, is our Person of the Year. And please go there at muslimstreet.net, check out the article. Any thoughts as we close out on Linda Sarsour? She is our rock star.
I just want to say that Linda is a phenomenal woman, a great leader for the Muslim American community, for just in general, for any woman, any man, any conscientious American. I want to congratulate Linda Sarsour on her great work. Mashallah, like Linda, you're an outstanding person that we all look up to. We want to thank you all for joining us on the Muslim Street. That is a wrap for our show, the very first day of 2012. Thank you all for joining us.